From the campus of Syracuse University, the thick of ACC play continues today with two teams looking to right the ship. It's number 15 Syracuse taking on Boston College. And we welcome you inside the Carrier Dome. Thank you for joining us this afternoon alongside Tim Leonard. I'm Anthony Mazzini. Casey Boucher will join us on the sidelines later. Tim, just what the doctor ordered. Syracuse losers of three of their last 5 games, and they look to right the ship 5 games in a row here inside the Carrier Dome.
Really big game today for Syracuse. Things have been slipping a little bit of late, and remember, they want to stay inside the top 16 for the NCAA Tournament Committee in order to host come first weekend. It
was a very tough loss against Louisville back on Thursday. One player that's really been lighting it up, though, for Syracuse, and was really one of the few to get anything going in that game was Kiara Lewis.
3 of her last 4 games, 20-plus points for Kiara Lewis. Coach Q has said she's just being way more aggressive, attacking and keeping her head down. We knew she was talented. She's always been a 5-star recruit and a transfer from Ohio State, but coming off the bench, she's starting to play more minutes and starting to look even better and better as the games go along.
For Boston College, they've also been struggling a little bit as of late. They've lost their last 2 games, but they've been shooting the 3-point ball very, very well. They've made at least 12 in their last 3 games. Michaela Dickens is the leader in that category.
Michaela Dickens, just a freshman, and she shoots it at a very good clip from D. And this is a Boston College team that plays a similar style to Syracuse. They want to get up and down the court and shoot a lot of threes. Dickens is going to be the primary suspect today for them, especially with Ortlip out of the lineup again for the 2nd straight game.
Dickens head coach Joanna Burnaby McNamee in her first season at the helm of Boston College. She's familiar with the upstate New York area. 2 years as the head coach at Albany, a 45-20 record there. On the other sideline, head coach Quentin Hillsman in his 13th season, at least 20 wins in his last 9 seasons. And we are ready to go inside the Carrier Dome. Syracuse taking on Boston College. The first of 5 consecutive games inside the Carrier Dome for Syracuse, and the Orange win the tip, and we are underway. It's the typical starting 5 for Syracuse. Stratmana, Manakahia, Miranda Drummond, Finkley, and Finkley gets on the board first, and Syracuse is on top, and Gabrielle Cooper also out there for Syracuse. For Boston College, it's a little bit of a different lineup as they missed their first shot of the evening. No Taylor Ortlip, Tim, you mentioned that's a big loss for the Eagles.
It is a huge loss. 2nd straight game, they will not have Ortlip.
And Syracuse on fire to open things up. Drummond knocks down a 3. It's an early 5-0 advantage.
Working down low and going outside. Finkley has been great of late for Syracuse. You can tell they look a little more comfortable on offense right out of the gates here.
Dickens loses the handle along the near sideline on a half-court trap, and it goes back to Syracuse with Tiana Manakahia. The Australian guard leading the team in points per game. A floater in the lane, a little too strong. Rebound to Emma Guy.
Ortlip averages 11.6 points per game, so that's what BC is missing from their starting lineup today.
15 seconds left to shoot for the Eagles. Entry pass down low and a nice post move for Guy. And she puts BC on the board.
Guy's field goal percentage right around 61% on the year. That leads the team. She's going to look to be on the low block all game long, kind of like Maeva Jaldi-Tabdi and Finkley for Syracuse.
Cooper, the pass down low to Finkley. Finkley, the hook shot, no good. Guy with another rebound.
You like that positioning, though. A good entry pass, and that's going to be there throughout the day. Finkley's been hitting at a much higher rate as well.
Dickens running the point for Boston College with Ortlip not in the starting lineup. She suffered an injury in a game against Virginia Tech 2 games ago. Missed the last game against Virginia and is out again today. 7 to shoot for the Eagles. Dickens trapped in the corner, finds Guy. She gets a shot off and banks it home. Guy with a couple early points for the Eagles, and they're back within 1.
This is a BC team that likes to play up-tempo as well. A little out of control there from Syracuse.
Drummond thought she got fouled. Now Dickens in transition. Hop step. Wild shot taken down by the Orange. Manakahia looks to push the pace. Finds Stratmana, the trailer. She launches halfway down. Offensive rebound. Finkley battled for under the basket. And BC comes away with it.
As expected, it's going to be a track meet today, and BC has really changed up their style under Burnaby McNamee in her first year, coming over from Albany, gets to come a little bit closer to where she coached for 2 years here in Syracuse for this game, but they like to play at this pace. Coach Q said it's just going to be about who executes their game plan more today because it's two very similar styles.
Garrott has to try to get a shot off, instead a foul called against Gabrielle Cooper. This is a very long history between these two teams. Their 53rd all-time meeting, really dominated by the Orange. The last Boston College win came in 2005. That was here inside the Carrier Dome. But it's been a long time since Boston College has beaten Syracuse. George H.W. Bush was still president back in 2005 for some perspective. Offensive rebound goes to Boston College, but a pass back out is tipped away. Manakahia looks to push. Manakahia uses the screen from Jaldi Tabdi. Back out to Drummond. She launches from 3. Doesn't get the home court bounce. Jaldi Tabdi there with the rebound. Puts it up and one.
Jaldi Tabdi and Finkley have so much size down low there. You can see her working hard for that offensive rebound, and that's a big advantage for Syracuse today. They're going to rotate in a lot of bodies. When we asked Coach Q before the game, what's the strategy on playing Jaldi Tabdi and Finkley, who continues to get better as the season has progressed, he said it's just about keeping them fresh, whatever he can do to keep the freshest body out there. So expect to see both of them rotating in and out of the game today, and really, they have an opportunity to have one of their better games of the season against a BC team with a starting lineup right now that doesn't have nearly as much size as Syracuse.
Jaldi Tabdi only 64% at the line and misses the free throw, so it stays at 7-4. Syracuse leads. BC really getting deep in the shot clock, and they throw it away. Kiera Lewis into the lineup now for Syracuse with Manakahia on the bench. She'll play the point guard. Sissoko also in the lineup, gets in, count it, and the foul. No, it's a travel first.
Well, still a good take from Sissoko. Good to see her get some early minutes here. Boston College, the turnover is starting to add up a little bit, and that's going to be something to watch throughout this game as both these teams play with a press on defense and try and contest that.
Already with 3 turnovers for Boston College. Dickens, a nice pass down low. Guy missed a left block layup, gets her own miss. Strotmana with the block. Guy still there to corral it and passes it back out to Bolden Morris.
What great D from Strotmana down low to block that shot without fouling.
Another good pass down low to Guy. This time she's fouled and gets the ball to fall. She'll go to the line looking to convert a 3-point play.
Emma Guy leads this team in scoring with 13.3 points per game. She scored 15 against Syracuse last year. Last year, Boston College just went 7-23 on the season. A rough year, but in their first year with Burnaby McNamee, they're a much better team this year. They might come in struggling in ACC play at 3-7 overall, but just the talent on the floor and the style they're running, they're much more effective.
Guys, 65.5% at the line. And she converts the 3-point play. All tied up inside the Carrier Dome. Approaching the 5-minute mark left in the first.
Been all Emma Guy so far. 7 points, all of BC's points.
Manakahia back in the game for Syracuse. Finds Sissoko. She launches from downtown. Ball tipped out under the basket, and it goes back to the Eagles.
Sissoko returned to the lineup against Pittsburgh on the 27th of January after a knee injury, and you can tell she's getting a little more comfortable out there just game by game.
A turnover underneath the Syracuse basket, rather the BC basket. Sissoko couldn't finish, and it's deflected out of bounds, and again goes back to the Eagles. It's one that Syracuse needs to convert.
And she had a great look there, but BC having trouble breaking this press. Once they get into the half court, they look much better.
Dickens along too strong. Guy there again for the rebound. She's trapped, tried to kick it back out, finds Dickens. Bolden Morris thought about the 3, now pulls it back out with still a lot of shot clock left. Now she fires from way downtown. Guy there again for the rebound. Left the putback short. Enksler corrals. But it goes back to the Eagles again.
Guy is feasting right now down low. She is keeping Boston College in it offensively, giving them tons of extra possessions.
Dickens will try again from straight away. This time she connects. She was 0 for 3 from field goals before that. And she puts the Eagles on top by 3.
41% three-point shooter. They're going to have to get out on her today if you're Syracuse.
A nice feed down low to Jaldi Topdi from Manakahia. That puts the Orange back on the board.
More back to their bread and butter there. Just got to get offensive rebounds right now for Syracuse.
Another turnover for Boston College. Lewis 1-on-2. She draws the foul. A good start for Boston College, a 1-point advantage over Syracuse early on. Welcome back inside the Carrier Dome. Boston College with a 1-point advantage over the 15th ranked Syracuse Orange. Alongside Tim Leonard, I'm Anthony Mazzini. A special day here inside the Carrier Dome. For more on that, we'll send it to the third member of our crew with Casey Boucher.
Thanks, guys. Before the game, Syracuse Athletics hosted a Girls and Women in Sports Day clinic here inside the Carrier Dome. Female student athletes from field hockey, soccer, and volleyball were teaching the young women who were involved more about their sport, but most importantly, what it is like to be a female in sports. I got to talk to some of the student athletes after, and they said it was such a great opportunity to give back to the younger generation of female athletes. Anthony, back to you.
Great stuff there. Thank you very much, Casey. Syracuse currently trailing Boston College with a lot of young fans in attendance today. A lot of role models out there on the floor for both sides for these young fans. Kiera Lewis at the line for 2 shots. Lewis is a player, Tim, we highlighted earlier in the open, a player that was one of the few that could get anything going against Louisville last time out. She had 12 points in that lopsided loss for Syracuse.
Yeah, kind of the lone bright spot in that Louisville game. Went 2 for 4 from deep, but she was great against Duke and Miami. She's been setting new career highs, and again, the press playing a factor for Syracuse.
Both of these teams like to play very fast, as you've mentioned, Tim, and with that comes turnovers. When you play so fast, you're bound to have a few here or there. But when we were talking to Coach Q earlier in the game, he said it's going to be a matter of which team can execute the game plan better. They're all tied up here inside the Carrier Dome, but so far the Syracuse defense has been great on that press.
Yeah, the SU defense has been really good. They're just not boxing out enough right now. The rebounding advantage 11-4 for Boston College.
That'll maybe get Syracuse going. A Drummond 3, her second. That puts the Orange back on top by 3, 13-10.
Drummond looking good early on the BC side. Emma Guy, 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 of those rebounds on the offensive glass. She's out of the game right now, though.
Instead, it's Georgia Pino down low. Another Australian. She joins Manakahia on the floor. 2 Australians in there. No Taylor Ortland. She's also from Australia. Another rejection down low for Stratmana.
Stratmana looking really good on defense right now. Second block of the game already, and nothing but ball there. No chance of that being called for a foul. She's looked really good, aggressive defense for Syracuse.
A one-touch shot for Emma Guy doesn't fall, squirts all the way out to Manakahia. She looks to go coast to coast. Instead finds Drum in the trailer. She'll launch again from downtown and connects again.
Miranda Drummond's been a streaky shooter all season for Syracuse, but when she gets it going, the basket just looks a lot bigger for her, and it looks like she's feeling it early right now. Already 3 threes.
A foul on Syracuse, but before that, Manakahia, this is why she's such a great passer, Tim, knows where her teammates are all the time on the court.
One of the top passers and assisters in the ACC. Miranda Drummond, the trailer, stepped into that shot with plenty of confidence. If she's making the threes, this is kind of what's been the problem for Syracuse lately. It's as simple as they just haven't been making the shots from downtown, but they're looking much better in the early goings here.
Garrod off the glass from downtown, but Guy again with the rebound. That's her 7th already, and we're still in the first quarter. Still 18 seconds left to shoot for the Eagles. Guy gives it off to Dickens. Now 10 to shoot. Dickens for 3 again, and gets the Carrier Dome bounce.
Dickens had 24 points and 10 rebounds in Boston College's last game. That was an overtime loss to Virginia. She's off to a good start, but Emma Guy with the 7 rebounds already. She averages 6.8 a game. We're not even done with the first quarter, and she's already gone over that mark.
Cooper for 3. She's got it. That left wing has been a hot spot for Syracuse. Drummond has hit a few from there. Now Cooper. They try to throw the press on again, but Cooper called for the foul.
Syracuse sometimes lives and dies by the 3 as we get our first look at Emily Enxler. Drummond's going to take a breather. And Isis Young also into the game for Gabrielle Cooper, but the 3 is working early on for SU, and if that is going down, it could be a long night for BC, or a long day for BC.
Gabrielle Cooper has made a 3-point shot in all but 4 games this season. She continues that streak today. She checks out in favor of Isis Young for the moment. BC down by 6. Dickens, a good pass down low, a good up fake, but the layup wouldn't fall. It was Soul, and the rebound goes to Enxler. An excellent pass to a cutting Stratmana. Manakahia found her, and another 2 for the Orange.
That's what makes Tiana so special, keeping her head up in transition. She did not look like herself against Louisville, really struggled from the floor offensively, but this maybe coming back home and for these 5 games at home was a good thing for her because she looks back to normal.
Guy challenges Stratmana and picks up the foul on Stratmana. Tiana Manakahia, one of 20 on the Wooden late season watch list for the Player of the Year award. She doesn't just score the basketball, you see there, she can also find teammates. One of the best passers in the nation, leads the team with 8 assists per game. Also a factor on the defensive end, leads the team in steals as well. Very important player for Syracuse.
Well, she led the nation in assists last year. It's really impressive when you have a point guard like her. She is perfect for Coach Q's style because she's always willing to go coast to coast, keep that head up, and push the ball down court. Almost like a quarterback, always has her head up, ready to throw down court and get it to an open teammate. And a great job by Stratmana there, too, to cut to the basket and get in the right spot.
Emma Guy makes the first free throw. Guy had a season-high 15 points last year against Syracuse, and she's off to a great start today. Already with 9 points and nearly 10 rebounds as well, still just in the first quarter with 1 minute left to play.
Emma Guy grew up in the Rochester area. You know she was excited for this game.
How about another 3 for Miranda Drummond? 12 points in the first quarter.
Kind of turned into a battle between Miranda Drummond and Emma Guy right now, and this is about as good as Drummond has shot it in her SU career, at least in this first quarter.
Dickens wants to get in on the action, but she misses. About a 5-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Dickens trying to take it away from Isis Young. Young almost loses it. Now Jaldi Tabdi comes out for the screen. Sissoko fakes, now banks it home.
Fundamental basketball there, using the square. BC got to hurry.
Dickens doesn't realize how much time she has to pass it off. The shot would have counted, but Soul couldn't knock it down. And at the end of 1, Syracuse riding the 3-point shot. Miranda Drummond, 4 3-pointers made. And Syracuse up by 11. (26-15). You may notice that both teams on the floor are wearing pink today, and that's because it is the Play 4K game, trying to raise funds to put an end to the terrible, terrible disease of cancer, specifically breast cancer. The Play 4K Kay Yao Cancer Fund. She was a phenomenal coach for NC State. Kay Yao, a Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame inductee, 20 NCAA tournament appearances. She fought breast cancer for 22 years before unfortunately passing in 2009, but a great cause, and great to see these two teams wearing pink today.
Yeah, she did wonders for the game of women's college basketball, and really a cool cause and a cool tradition every February.
Emma Guy continues her hot start inside the Carrier Dome, pulls BC back within 9. Good pass down low to Jaldi Tabdi from Lewis. And it's another 2 for Syracuse.
Monacahia out of the game right now, so Kiera Lewis inserted as the point guard. And just as I say that, Tiana races to the scorer's table to check back in. She had 7 assists in that first quarter, but Kiera quickly with a nice dime down low, looking like she can facilitate too.
And Coach Q isn't afraid to play them both at the same time. There's Guy with a hook shot that doesn't fall. He has played them both. It's not a scenario of one point guard's in, the other is out. They both offer a little bit of different skill sets. Another good pass to Jaldi Tabdi. This time, Enksler finds her. Enksler's a player, a former 5-star recruit coming into this year that hasn't displayed the flashy points per game numbers, but she does a little bit of everything. Comes away with a steal here, finds Sissoko up ahead for the layup.
It's interesting with this Syracuse team because players like Kiera Lewis, Gajatu Sissoko just scored, and Enksler, they're 5-star talents, but they're rounding into form right now, and they're playing much better. SU is shooting the lights out currently, 10 of their last 11.
Sissoko loses it down low, goes back to the Eagles.
Now we're gonna get Monacahia back into the game. Mayeva Jaldi Tabdi also checks back in. Syracuse got a pretty big lineup on the floor right now.
We haven't seen a lot of Amaya Finkley. She started the game for Syracuse. We were talking to head coach Quentin Hillsman. He said that he recognizes that it's a short turnaround from Louisville on Thursday and now here to Sunday. He's trying to keep as many players fresh as possible. Lowry connects on a corner 3, much needed for Boston College. Enksler wants to get on a 3-point party, and she does. A 3-point barrage inside the Carrier Dome. Syracuse is on fire right now, whether it be from behind the arc or inside the arc.
But a mix of both all game long. This team just playing with way more confidence night and day compared to that Louisville game.
Soule, a tough layup attempt, but it was a nice pass to Emma Guy, and she converts. Monacahia, you guessed it, another 3-point make for the Orange. Garrod tried to feed it down low to Soule, but deflected out. It'll stay with Syracuse.
They simply can't miss from 3 right now, Anthony. 7 for 10 from beyond the arc. Boston College 3 for 7 from the outside too, but Tiana getting in on it. It was Miranda Drummond a lot in that first quarter. This is a team that we know has the potential to shoot from 3. Sometimes they just come out cold. So far today, that has not been the case.
And this is a very young Boston College team. 3 juniors, no seniors, 8 freshmen, and a couple of sophomores. And when we were talking to Boston College head coach Joanna Burnaby McNamee, she was telling us that she wants her younger players, specifically her guards, to watch Tiana Monacahia play when they're on the bench to get a feel for the special player that Tiana is.
That's high praise from an opposing coach. This is about as good as the Syracuse offense has looked in a long time. Not only just making the 3s, but they're shooting 71.4% from the field overall, 15 for 21.
Syracuse had just 51 points at Louisville in the KFC Yum Center on Thursday, already at 38. We're not even halfway through the second quarter.
I was gonna say, they might hit 51 by the time we finish half.
Monacahia with a wraparound pass looking for Finkley, and it stays with the Orange. 11 seconds on the shot clock for Syracuse. Cooper lobs it down low to Enksler. Stayed on the rim but wouldn't fall. Rebound to Guy. Dickens for 3.
Three three-pointers already for Dickens on 5 attempts.
Monacahia again, no. Rebound though to Finkley. And she puts it back up and in for 2.
SU's starting to get some boards, kind of the reverse of what it was in the first quarter. This is breakneck pace. Both offenses very clean, but to be already at 40 points for Syracuse is really unprecedented.
Another for Dickens, yes. Dickens starting to heat up a little bit. Leads the team in 3-point field goal percentage at nearly 41%.
He's 4 for 6 from out there, and if you're Syracuse, you've got to start getting out on her. She's the most dangerous weapon from beyond the arc for Boston College.
Strautman, an elbow jumper, too strong. Rebound, Bolden Morris had it. Soule got a hand on it as well, and it stays with Syracuse.
Kiera Lewis is going to come into the game, and we're going to see that 2-guard lineup that you were talking about, Anthony, when you get Monacahia out there and Lewis. A little bit of a smaller lineup for Syracuse right now, maybe, but they do have plenty of shooting from 1 through 5 out there on the court.
Monacahia is the inbounder and finds her point guard teammate Lewis. It was a fresh shot clock situation for the Orange. Monacahia, a 2-time ACC Player of the Week this season, had the first triple-double in history, program history, versus UNC earlier in conference play. 10 seconds left to shoot. Strautman from the left wing. Tipped out of bounds off Finkley, and it goes to the Eagles.
That was a really well-designed set play, though, out of the inbounds to get Strautman a nice, clean look. That's what's so good about Monacahia is when it's chaotic, she thrives. When they're in transition and fast break, keeping her head up and making nice passes, but she also makes the appropriate pass and knows when to slow it down in the half-court set.
Garrod from downtown, halfway down, no good. Pino collects the offensive rebound. One-touch passing for the Eagles finds Pino. Now Guy will try a free throw line jumper. Emma Guy is playing her heart out today in her backyard from the New York area, from the Rochester area more specifically. And she's looked great through a quarter and a half of play.
You know, this is probably a game she circled on the calendar when she got the schedule at the beginning of the year, and she's come through.
Milan Bolden Morris misses from downtown. Finkley there for the rebound. Lewis realizes she didn't have numbers. Now a skip pass over to Strautman, left all alone. And BC got away with that one.
Couple clean looks Strautman has missed, but a great head fake and a pass fake that time to give herself some more separation. He'll take that look all day.
Strautman came in shooting 34% from behind the arc. Trying to feed it down low to Guy. Finkley an over the back foul. And Emma Guy has been absolutely phenomenal for Boston College. Doing it all, finds Dickens, and Boston College keeping it close within 10.
Offense looks really good. Miranda Drummond hot early. Because of it, they've got a 10-point lead.
Yeah, she's been awesome, and the main part of that has been Tiana Monacahia being able, as the point guard, to get into the paint, drive, allowing the defense to collapse on you has been getting Syracuse open opportunities, especially from the perimeter.
We'll have more on that coming up on the ACC on ESPN Halftime Report. For now, back to the Dome with Anthony, Tim, and Casey.
Thanks so much, Hop. Looking forward to getting it back there at halftime. But for now, with 3:50 left in the second quarter, it's been all Syracuse, especially from downtown, and Monacahia has been a big reason why. She hasn't scored much. She did make a 3 herself, Tim, but the 8 assists, like Kayla was talking about, really is a great facilitator. And how about Emma Guy has been all over the floor for Boston College.
6 for 11 from the floor so far, and she's already almost got a double-double with still 3:50 left in the second quarter, and they go right down low to her again.
Good defense, though, from Jaldi Tabdi standing straight up, a jump ball. Pino getting in there to tie up Jaldi Tabdi, but possession stays with Syracuse. For the Orange, it's Monacahia, Strautman, Jaldi Tabdi, Drummond, and Cooper. Drummond was hot earlier from 3. Took a seat on the bench for a little while. She wants it on the wing. Instead, Jaldi Tabdi goes baseline hook shot for 2. And a great save
hustle
down low from Cooper, getting the Orange an extra possession. And she pays off with a 3.
If that's not Syracuse basketball, I don't know what is. That's the Coach Q principles right there. Unreal hustle from Gabrielle Cooper. Great save, and then Monacahia, right place, right time, finds Cooper. And amazingly, she caught her breath in time to shoot that 3 and knock it down. SU continuing to hit from deep all game long. And BC does not have as much depth as Syracuse, so they're going to want to try and cut into this lead before the break.
Bolden Morris from downtown, too strong. Tipped around by Guy, but the Orange collect it in the corner. Anakahia looks to push the pace. Finds Cooper again, decided not to shoot this time.
And they'll get into that half-court offensive set.
Drummond wants another three, and she gets another three. That short spell on the bench clearly didn't impact Miranda Drummond much. The Orange lighting it up from downtown.
Drummond already has 5 threes. She came into this game making at least 3 three-pointers in the past 3 games. That streak continues. She's been cold and hot so far this season, but right now she's clearly hot.
Jaldi Tabdi tipped the entry pass. Cooper comes away with it. Approaching the 2-minute mark in the second quarter. Syracuse on top by 18. Already within 3 points of their last game's total. Cooper another three from the corner. This time left it short. Long rebound out to Dickens. 2-on-1. She has Garrod. And Garrod gets the easy layup. Garrod started the season really well for Boston College. Had double figures in 6 of the first 8 games, but since then, just 3. Another 2 for Syracuse. Jaldi Tabdi, she's now 6 for 6 from the field tonight.
That's pretty good. Excellent positioning that time on Emma Guy. A good entry pass as well.
Dickens tried to slither it down low, looking for a Guy, but a kick ball. Boston College has gotten 27 of 32 points from Michaela Dickens and Emma Guy.
And combined, the two of them have come off the court for just 1 minute. Emma Guy stepped out for a quick breather. Dickens has not gone to the bench once.
Dickens another 3, no. And this is a Boston College team, if you're just joining us, playing without Taylor Ortlip today. One of the usual guards for Boston College, but she suffered an injury 2 games ago against Virginia Tech. Missed last game against Virginia, not in the lineup again today. Drummond steps into another 3, right wing, but it doesn't matter. 6 three-point makes for Miranda Drummond. She has 18 points.
This is really incredible what Miranda Drummond is doing right now in this first half, and she hasn't even played for a majority of the first half. She's been out there her usual minutes, but she still found a way to make 6 threes. And you can just tell she's oozing confidence right now. It's almost like when Klay Thompson or Steph Curry get hot for the Warriors. She's just looking to get the ball in her hands at all times. Her teammates are finding her and letting her go to work.
Another foul on the press. Isis Young, a bit too aggressive. It's a great comparison to Klay Thompson because Drummond barely dribbles the ball much as well. She does know how to get into the paint and get the layups and finish through contact, but just right there, that last 3, 1 dribble to her left rather, made the defender miss and pulled up.
Yeah, she's probably got 6 threes, 18 points, and maybe, I don't know, 7 or 8 dribbles so far in this first half. Not a bad ratio.
The Eagles go right back down low to Guy. The double team came, but it doesn't matter. Emma Guy is doing her best to match Syracuse, but the Orange still on top by 19. The Orange holding for the last shot. Rotmana comes out for the screen, but an off-ball foul. It goes against Syracuse.
Now 5.9 seconds. Syracuse is not going to apply the full court press, but Dickens and BC are going to need to go.
Finds Garrod. Have to get something up. Dickens has the shot blocked. And that's how the first half ends. Syracuse riding the 3-point shot. Miranda Drummond, 18 points on 6 3-point shots made. And after 1 half, it's 53-34 in favor of Syracuse. Tim, it's been a lights-out shooting display.
10 for 17 from beyond the arc. That's right around 59% from 3. And that's really the Syracuse bread and butter. 21 for 33 overall, 64% field goal percentage in that first half.
To hear more about that three-point shooting barrage, we send it over to head coach Quentin Hillsman with Casey Boucher.
Coach, your team shot over 60% in the first half. What's been clicking for your team offensively?
Well, we're sharing the ball and we're getting good shots. So the more we share the ball, the better shots we're going to get. So I'm very pleased with that.
And Coach, Emma Guy found her spark in the first half. How do you plan to slow her down?
Well, we ain't slowed her down in all these years, so we got to find a way to stop her. I mean, she's a very good player.
Great. Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. To talk to Joanna Burnaby-McNamee about the three-point barrage.
Thanks, guys. Coach, Syracuse is shooting lights out from the outside. How do you plan to stop that in the second half?
Well, hopefully we go through with cutters and we do a really good job applying more pressure to the three-point line. I thought we fell asleep quite a bit with our overload set in that first half. So we've just got to stay alert and stay more. I mean, we didn't come in here thinking we wanted to give up threes. We came in here with the notion of not giving up threes. We just got to get to sticking to our game plan in the second half.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much, Casey. So, Tim, what do the Eagles have to do to stop this three-point shooting?
Well, it's as simple as getting out on shooters, specifically Miranda Drummond. She made 6 of them in the first half, so you know she's the hot hand right now. And also just chase down those shooters. I mean, it's not just Drummond, it's Monacahia. There's a lot of shooters on this Syracuse team, so just keep your hands up.
A quick ball on the floor. Sol dove on it and called timeout. So a sloppy early possession for Boston College. And with that one play, Boston College has a chance to reset. Enrique Agumbawale, you might remember her, hit that game-winning buzzer beater in the national championship last season.
How could you forget about that? Nice play off the timeout from BC. Notre Dame won earlier today against a nationally ranked Florida State team. They beat them by 27, 97-70. They're 22-3 overall right now. Lost recently to UNC, but them and Louisville are still the cream of the crop in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
It's a big game coming up for Syracuse after that loss against Louisville for head coach Quentin Hillsman. He said it's very important to take care of home court. It's a great league, and you get a lot of teams at home. You need to win. So with Syracuse on a 5-game homestand starting today against Boston College, he realizes that all wins are important, but especially against these teams before they play the national powerhouses. NC State coming in on Wednesday, another top 15 team. Notre Dame coming up in a couple weeks, so these games are very important.
Really important. It's kind of similar to what the men's basketball team's mindset was with BC yesterday. Get a win before you go into a tough stretch in conference play.
Sluggish start for Syracuse to open up the second half. A couple of missed shots. Drummond the most recent. 15 to shoot for the Eagles. Dickens controls, trying to feed it down low to Guy. Finkley doing the best to deny the ball, but she picks up a foul.
Michaela Dickens has played every single minute of this game. She averages right around 28 minutes per game. You saw the glaring stat at halftime, which is BC's bench points. They have 0. Syracuse with 20 in that department. That shows how much more depth SU has than the Eagles.
Dickens airballs a 3, but Sol right there for the putback for 2.
Sol's been aggressive on the offensive glass, and that's what BC needs. They need to attack the offensive glass and also get players like Sol to step up, because it was Dickens and Guy dominating the ball and dominating the scoring in the first half for them. They need more role players.
Taylor Sol is a player who was undecided between soccer and basketball in high school. She played at Kimball Union Academy, and she decided with basketball because one day at soccer practice, she found herself dribbling, not with her feet, but with her hands, a soccer ball, and she realized maybe this is the right path for me to take.
I guess that'll do it. Things going according to plan, though, to start for BC. Nice pass down low.
And Guy with the finish again.
Tell you what, this is a Boston College team that's very young, but you can see the future, and a really nice steal.
Monacahia has her pocket picked. And a block from Jaldi Tabdi. Garrod thought she had the open alley, but good track back from Jaldi Topdi.
Look at the hustle to get back. A chase down block from Maeva Jaldi Topdi. There's a ton of shot blockers on this Syracuse team, and they've been everywhere down low tonight, being aggressive but not fouling. No one really in foul trouble, which is huge for Coach Q.
Good
Look at her
back cut
again.
from Sol, and Jaldi Topdi again with the rejection. The Orange in transition, 3-on-3. Cooper swings it back out. Strautman passed up the shot. Drummond goes baseline, an easy layup.
Credit Digna Strautman there. The extra pass to Miranda Drummond, she had a good look, but making that extra pass, BC out of control now in the corner.
The Carrier Dome crowd can finally sit down after the slowish start, and a great block leads to offense.
And Maeva Jaldi Topdi was very aggressive offensively, made every field goal in that first half. And she's been leading the charge, getting it out on break. Tiana Monacaya keeping that head up in transition, but it was a really nice feed from Strautman at that time. And Miranda Drummond, we saw her make 6 threes in the first half. She didn't settle for the 3 that time. The defense collapsed on her, and you know they're going to be doing that, especially after what she did in the first half. So maybe she can take advantage of driving a little bit more and show she's a two-dimensional player.
There was a foul on the floor against Syracuse. I think those 2 dribbles to the basket, Tim, were the most we saw from Drummond all night long.
Yeah, that was probably the most dribbling she's had in any sequence of the game. He was playing like Klay Thompson, as we mentioned, in that first half. A lot of catch-and-shoot opportunities, but a really good all-around game from her.
Dickens launches one, but it's an offensive foul against Boston College.
Grabs Sol for a moving screen that time, and Dickens did make the 3. She's been red hot from the outside. You wonder if she's going to come out of this game at any point. Obviously, they're riding her right now as we start the second half after a breather in the halftime locker rooms, trying to get back into this game for BC.
There's no Taylor Ortlip for Boston College. She's out with an injury. And role reversal that time. Jaldi Topdi's rejected by Taylor Sol.
Sol is giving them some great minutes right now. She started a handful of games this year, but kind of thrusted into the starting lineup with the injury today, and she's come out of the locker rooms and been very effective.
Drummond with a step back, wanted the shot, but great defense from Dickens. Cooper frees herself for a shot. That allows Syracuse to throw on the full court press. Boston College has broken it early, and they do it again. Rod drives past Cooper and now finds Dickens to control the pace. Boston College slowing things down a little bit here, Tim. They like to play up tempo and run, something the head coach Burnaby McNamee has instilled on this team. And Emma Guy just keeps doing what she does best.
Emma Guy has been really impressive so far. She killed Syracuse last year with 15 points, doing it again.
Jaldi Topdi on the other end for 2.
It's a fun matchup to watch right now between Jaldi Topdi and Emma Guy, 2 uber-talented ACC bigs going at it. They're jostling for positioning down low, and 2 players that are really getting to their spots offensively, playing good defense as well, but just better out.
Offensive foul. Dickens extended the forearm. Great defense from Monacahia, right with her every step of the way.
See one of our first subs of the second half for SU. Kiera Lewis comes in, get that 2-guard lineup with Monacahia. Gabrielle Cooper comes out. That's how Syracuse wants to play at a little bit slower of a pace, likely because they are in front right now. Milk a little bit more of the clock here in the second half.
Good defense from Guy to swat that one out, but the Orange still have it. Lewis a couple dribbles in. An aggressive drive, and she'll go to the charity stripe for 2 shots.
Exactly what Coach Q was saying that has been the difference with Kiera Lewis. She's attacking, she's being aggressive, and she's arguably playing like one of the top 3 players on this team right now for Syracuse. And at the start of the year, she was just a bench role player, but she's blossomed into really a budding star for the Orange.
Lewis came in with 3 20-point games over her last 4 games. She had just 5 over her previous 8 games. 18 games, rather. This is the second free throw, but Drummond there for the rebound, and the putback is good.
It's just Drummond's day. She's doing it all today. Up to 22 points. Her season high is 23 against Clemson.
A 3 from Lowry is halfway down, but falls out. Rebound to Lewis. Jaldi Tabdi all alone up ahead, but can't finish the layup. Drummond tried to bring it down, but it will go back to the Eagles when we come back. Syracuse, a 20-point advantage all over the Eagles. Good-sized crowd in the Carrier Dome today. The Play for K game as well as National Girls and Women in Sport Day inside the Carrier Dome. And Tim, they're seeing a great one. Syracuse, number 15 in the country. Good role models on the court today.
Yeah, SU has really looked good on offense. Miranda Drummond all the way up to 22 points. 14 for Maeva Jaldi Tabdi, but just 3 points for Tiana Monacahia, and thanks to Miranda Drummond and Jaldi Tabdi, it doesn't have to be the Tiana show for them to score points. They're on pace for one of their highest scoring games of the season, and they haven't even gotten much from their leading scorer.
Jaldi Tabdi and Drummond have combined for 36 points, a lot of which have come on threes from Drummond, and great post play from Jaldi Tabdi. Drummond almost forces the steal. BC barely gets it across the timeline in time. Dickens, a one-handed pass looking for Guy, deflected on the way through. BC basketball.
Michaela Dickens obviously can shoot it from outside, but what makes her so dangerous is when the defense collapses on her on the perimeter, she's got great vision and can go down low with the pass.
A great catch on the inbounds pass from Guy in the left-handed finish off the glass. Drummond passed up the three in favor of Drummond, but off the back iron. Offensive rebound, Lewis. A blocking foul called down low. Talisa Green, all over it with the call. Georgia Pinot with the foul.
Sissoko is going to check back in for Syracuse now, and just 2 points tonight from Kiera Lewis, 3 from Tiana Monacahia. It just stresses that usually those are the main contributors, the backcourt for SU, but they don't need that right now, and they're still firmly in control.
Jaldi Tabdi putting the moves on Guy, but she left it short. Good defense. Dickens in transition, finds Guy all the way to the basket. Couldn't finish, but a foul.
Great job running the floor by Guy there. She's played a lot of minutes, but she doesn't look tired the way she ran all the way down the floor, and a good look in transition. BC likes to play with that tempo, and they're probably going to need to pick up the tempo given the time and the score here in order to get back into this game.
A couple more subs for Syracuse. Enksler comes in. Finkley as well. Jaldi Tabdi and Stratman take a breather.
Really cool to see the game that Emma Guy is having. Growing up in this area about an hour away, just outside of Rochester, you'd expect that she has family in attendance tonight and was looking forward to this game, and she's approaching her career high of 25 points.
You can see the impact that Emma Guy has. Last time out, Boston College, a heartbreaker in overtime against Virginia. Emma Guy had to leave that game early with 2 fouls. UVA immediately went on an 8-0 run, a lead that eventually they never gave up. Monacahia has to think about getting a shot off, finds Enksler for 3, a line drive, hit the rim, but trickles out of bounds, and it goes back to the Eagles.
Really good patience, though, from Monacahia. When there's 5 on the shot clock, some players have a tendency to just chuck it up and panic a little bit. She took the time, knew she had time to pump fake and get it to the open teammate.
Good outlet pass to Garreau, pulls up from the ACC logo, but left it short. Who else but Emma Guy there for the offensive rebound? And into the sure-handed Michaela Dickens. Soul finds Garrod for 3. Left it short, but follows her miss. All the way to the basket. Can't find the basket, but Guy there again. And she'll go to the line for 2 more.
Boston College playing with a lot of heart in this second half. As we've talked about, this is a young team. Guy is a junior, but Dickens, who's also been doing a bulk of the scoring for the Eagles, is just a freshman, and they're littered with freshmen on the court at all times.
There's some Emma Guy fan club. From Penfield, New York, went to Penfield High School. in the Rochester area. Has a lot of family and friends in attendance today. And she is certainly putting on a show. Foul called down low against the Eagles. Guy picks it up.
Sometimes you feel like maybe when you come home and there's extra pressure with your family, that can cause a little more stress on the players, and other times it leads to a even better performance. And we're definitely seeing the latter today with Guy, which is really cool to see.
Finkley at the line for 2 shots for Syracuse. Finkley last time against Louisville played single-digit minutes for the first time since November. And just the second time all season. Getting some good run today, though, averaging 6.7 points per game with 4 today. Goes 1 for 2 at the line. And she'll check out in favor of Digna Stratmana. Sub for Boston College as well. Garrod, goes to the bench. It's Guy, Bolden, Morris, Dickens, Lowry, and Soule on the court for Boston College. Guy has it. 13 to shoot. Soule, wild shot, couldn't get it to go. Sissoko looks to lead the break, but left the ball behind. Now gets it to Lewis.
Almost an over and back there. She wasn't careful. Good defense on the prior possession, though, from Digna Stratmana.
To shoot for Syracuse. Sissoko to the basket, a fake, and the finish. Kadjatou Sissoko, one of a few French players on Syracuse with a nice basket. In transition, Lowry too hard off the glass. Sissoko finds it. Sissoko 1 on 4 and wisely pulls up.
That's really the difference between these two teams, is players like Sissoko can come in off the bench with fresh legs and make an immediate impact, have plenty of talent to score. They can go 10 or 11 deep, can Syracuse, with scores. BC can't do the same, especially with the injuries.
A beautiful bounce pass from Lewis to Stratmana for an easy 2 for Syracuse. Bolden Morris wanted to go one-on-one with Enxler. Instead, Dickens in transition. Cash.
I think BC needs to play with more of that pace on offense. Try and catch the D napping and get looks from beyond the arc if they want to come back in this one.
Sissoko steps back behind the arc for a 3. Stratmana with the offensive rebound. Enxler wants a 3, and she gets a 3. Lead back up to 20 for Syracuse, 70 to 50. Under a minute left now in the third quarter.
Digna Stratmana not scoring much today, just 4 points, but she's doing the little things. 3 blocks, and has been very active on the glass.
Emma Guy with the putback for 2. Big discrepancy in bench points for these two teams. Nearly 30 for Syracuse, none for Boston College. Emma Guy, that's a new career high for her, now with 26 points. 15 to shoot for Syracuse. Stratmana one-on-one with Guy. Off the glass, no good, and a foul down low against Syracuse. Boston College will have a chance for the last shot. Rather, Syracuse in the bonus. So Boston College shooting a couple free throws.
And that's the 4th foul today on Gabrielle Cooper. So really the first player to be in foul trouble for SU. Emma Guy has 3 for the Eagles. Really can't afford for her to pick up that 4th, given how much BC is down right now.
A great day so far for Michaela Dickens. That's now 20 points. A couple subs for both sides. Isis Young in for Syracuse. Garrod also comes in. Clara Ford into the game as well for Boston College. First time we've seen her today. Dickens goes 1 for 2 at the line. Now the Orange have a chance for the final shot. Lewis breaks a double team, finds Isis Young in the corner for 3. Got it! Isis Young shoots 25% from 3 on the season, but knocks that one down Boston College can't get a shot off, and the momentum is all with Syracuse. A 20-point lead for the Orange, capped off with an Isis Young 3-point make to end the third quarter. 73-53, number 15 Syracuse, all over the Eagles. Inside the Carrier Dome so far, Anthony Mazzini, Tim Leonard with you, but Emma Guy doing all she can, Tim. It's been a career day for her, and it could get even better depending on how this fourth quarter plays out.
In front of her family, she has been feasting all game long. Career high in points already as we start the fourth quarter. She's 2 away from a career high in rebounds. Already has 13 boards, and maybe even the most impressive stat, 9 of those rebounds are offensive. Really sensational stuff from her all game long. She's kept BC in it, but they're going to need quite a comeback.
Michaela Dickens has been Emma Guy's sidekick so far with 20 points. But it hasn't been enough for the Eagles so far. Lights out shooting display from Syracuse. They have a 20-point advantage. Enxler down low, gets the friendly roll.
Opportunity for some players like Emily Enxler to maybe get a little more comfortable if they can get some good run in this fourth quarter here. She obviously was the highest touted recruit in SU history coming into this year with high expectations, and she's shown flashes certainly at times, but hasn't quite put it all together to the degree that we maybe thought she would.
Soule gets an easy layup on Enxler. Enxler hasn't scored in double figures since November 22nd in a game against Kansas State. The 5-star prospect, top 10 out of high school.
So much pressure when she came in, and you wonder if now maybe she gets an opportunity in some of these fourth quarters, later part of the season where she's a little more comfortable. Almost got a steal there.
Ball on the floor, battled for. Soule rips it away. But it's a jump ball possession, points towards Boston College. And with Enxler, Tim, it's a situation where with a lot of 5-star recruits, they come on a team that either lost a lot of players or sent players to the NBA, and they need to come in and score right away. She hasn't had to do that for Syracuse so far because of the likes of Manakahia, Drummond, Jaldi Tapiti. There are players who could shoulder that scoring load for her, so the scoring numbers aren't there like a 5-star would be. But she's done a lot of other things really well. Yeah,
it's really hard to make an impact when you're playing spot minutes because you feel like you've got a leash on you at times. And she comes from playing in high school after a BC turnover, trying to get it down low to Guy. When she played in high school, she's playing every single minute. She's dominating the ball. And if she starts out a little bit slow, she doesn't feel pressured to make that first shot because she has plenty of time to get into the flow of the game. It's much tougher when you know you're only going to be in there for 5 or 6 minutes, and if you make an error, you'll get yanked.
Manakahi all the way to the basket for 2, a scoop layup. She's been quiet today. She's found her teammates a lot, but hasn't had to do a lot of scoring. And good pressure from the Orange, forces another turnover.
It's interesting, just 5 points for Tiana, but it feels like she has had her thumbprint on this game all throughout. 11 assists, 3 turnovers for how much she holds the ball and how much she dominates the possession. Not too bad for her standards, and again, you can see why the head coach for BC was telling her players to look at Tiana and watch how she plays the game because she is a budding star.
Raven Fox out there for Syracuse. Manakahia finds a cutting Stratmana for a lefty 2.
Right on cue, make it 12 assists. Another good cut by Stratmana at 2. Those two have played together for a while, and you can tell they have a great rapport on the court. You can see her cut into the lane here immediately. She goes right for that crevice in the defense. She hasn't, like Manakahia, scored a lot tonight, but she's played really quality minutes.
Played good defense on Guy that time to force a wild layup and then came down with the rebound. Boston College has not beaten Syracuse since February of 2005. And providing all goes well for the Orange and there's not a major meltdown here in the fourth, that trend would continue. However, these two teams do play later this season, March 3rd at Conte Forum in Chestnut Hill, and a good turnaround jumper for Stratmana.
Feels like this was just the game the Syracuse offense needed. They need a little bit of a spark, find their identity after bit of a sluggish stretch, and partially because they were playing so many games in so few days that they maybe got a little bit tired.
Dickens doing the best she can to make it a respectable score. She knocks down another 3. 83-58. Under 7 minutes left to play.
For BC, maybe you could take some momentum from a good stretch here in the final 6.5 or so and build on that going down the rest of the ACC play. Dickens with 23 points, Guy with 26, and both of those players likely will be back with the program next year. Dickens, you can tell, is going to be an all-ACC type of talent in the future.
When all is said and done today, Boston College will have lost a lot of games recently, 6 of their last 7, but you can tell, Tim, that this is a team that is much improved from last season. 1 year has been a major difference for the Eagles. Joanna Burnaby-McNamee has turned this team around. Last season under head coach Eric Johnson, just a 7-23 record, already with 14 wins and counting this season.
It's been a complete culture change with Burnaby-McNamee. Complete style change. They're going more up-tempo, kind of like Syracuse likes to play. Nice pass by Stroutman and a Drummond that time. And they're really adapted to that style rather quickly. You think about all these young players, but even their veteran players, the juniors like Guy, they have to get used to that style change. They were playing at a different tempo last year under a different head coach.
Miranda Drummond had the last basket for Syracuse. She was lighting it up from downtown earlier in the game, but now she's using the dribble a little more. Well, I guess she didn't dribble that time, but still getting all the way to the basket.
Yeah, proving that she can score inside and outside. 24 points for her is now a new season high. Had 23 against Clemson earlier in the year. Her career high, 38 a couple years ago against FSU, a game where she made 8 threes. She had 6 threes in the first half, still sitting at 6 threes right now. 6 for 9 from beyond the arc, but 9 for 13 overall, proving that she is more than just a knockdown shooter.
Guy's second free throw is good. She moves up to 27 points, and she'll get a breather, a much-deserved and well-deserved breather, in her place of Georgia Pino.
Syracuse has played 11 players today, BC just 8, and they're still searching for that first bench point. That's really been the difference when you play at this type of style and this type of pace. SU is able to play 3 more bodies. That helps a lot.
Raven Fox gets the ball to fall home. First 2 points for her rather. Scoring diversity, depth scoring for Syracuse. Raven Fox doesn't get a lot of minutes for this team. She played just 5 against Louisville last time out. And a turnover for the Orange.
Yeah, of those 11 players, every single one of them have scored now. Raven Fox, the latest to join in on the fun. Now Syracuse going to slow things down. They're approaching maybe their season high in points total for the year. They scored 98 against Towson in a non-conference game, but to do it against an ACC foe is really impressive.
Great up fake from Jaldi Tabdi, but couldn't finish. Another tip wouldn't go, but then Cooper was there for the second effort.
It really is like everything is coming together for this SU offense today. Lately, it's been Kiera Lewis playing well, but not a lot of help outside of that, and it seems like everyone is getting more confidence in this game.
A block called down low. Shannon Feck was right there to make the call, but it's been all Syracuse, 89-61. Big matchup coming up in a couple weeks here inside the Carrier Dome. Tickets still on sale for that game against Syracuse on February 25th. Trying to break the all-time attendance record for an SU women's game. Tickets only $10 for single seats.
I would say they have a good shot of breaking that record, considering how Syracuse is playing today and Notre Dame picking up that top 25 win, getting back on track. That could be a matchup of 2 top 15, maybe even top 10 teams.
It's a very tough schedule for both sides moving down the stretch. Pinot, an offensive rebound, but a wild shot. Syracuse plays NC State this coming week, a top 15 team. And then, of course, that game against Notre Dame in a couple weeks. For Boston College, their next game is Notre Dame on Wednesday. And then they have a tough end to the regular season. They'll play Syracuse again, as well as Louisville. That game will be at Louisville. An and one on Syracuse's end of the floor. Finkley.
She's so good in the interior, just goes to her arsenal of moves. Shakes off her defender and goes up for the score that time. No Emma Guy down low currently. They're going to Pinot, who normally plays a lot more minutes than what we've seen tonight. She averages right around 28 minutes a game. She's only been on the floor for 10 minutes so far, and I think partially because Guy was so sensational, they had to keep her in the game for a little bit longer, and it cut into Pinot's minutes a little bit.
Pinot had started every game this season before tonight. She is playing without one of her better friends, however. Taylor Ortlip missed the game today. Those two roomed and played together at the FIBA 2014 U17 World Championships for Team Australia. Loose ball near the BC bench, and it goes back to Syracuse. Isis Young taking a hard tumble to the floor.
See Isis and a lot of bodies diving after this ball in the corner. One of those plays you just hope everyone's okay. Looks like she got up, walked it off, and seems fine. Interesting how the scoring has worked for Syracuse today, because they've gotten contributions from 11 different players. But surprisingly, they really haven't had many players in double figures, just 2, with Miranda Drummond's season-high 24 points and 16 from Maeva Jaldi-Tabdi. Good to see Maeva Jaldi-Tabdi get more impactful in the scoring column, because she has struggled and hadn't scored in double figures in a little bit.
Enksler goes 1-on-2 in the lane for a layup. If you're a Syracuse fan, that's encouraging to see. Emily Enksler coming around a little bit here in this game. She has 10 points. First time since November she's reached double figures. Garrod, it was halfway down, but no good. Foul down low. Enksler hit the floor.
Right as I say that, she joins the double figure scoring with 10 points. You can tell with Emily Enksler that obviously once this lineup is trimmed down a little bit and some players leave, and she's getting those 20, 25, 30 minutes a game, she's going to be scoring a whole lot of points in ACC play and be a factor for a while for the Syracuse team. It might not be the production we expected in her freshman year. Sloppy pass there. But she's definitely coming on and building confidence, and she will be an all-ACC type of performer when she's an upperclassman.
Well, we were talking about the youth for Boston College, but Syracuse, when you look at the roster too, is a relatively young team. Miranda Drummond, a redshirt senior, but Sissoko just a freshman, Stratmana just a sophomore. Isis Young also a senior, a graduate student, she'll be gone. But Kiera Lewis will be back. Gabrielle Cooper has one more year. Manakahia is only a junior. Jaldi-Tabdi, a redshirt freshman. So a lot of pieces still to work with for Syracuse. You have to imagine they'll be good for a very long time.
Yeah, the question with Manakahia is, will she come back, or will she opt to go to the WNBA draft? Because obviously, rightfully so, she will be getting looks in that regard, and it'll be an interesting decision. But regardless, Kiera Lewis, if she becomes the primary point guard next year, that's not a bad option.
In and out of the hands of Isis Young. For Syracuse, today marks game 1 of 5 in a row inside the Carrier Dome. A nice stretch for the Orange coming up. As we mentioned, that NC State game coming up on Wednesday. And a couple of non-ranked teams before rounding out this home stretch with 2 more ranked teams.
NC State is such a pivotal game. They have been really sensational. We're one of the longest teams to stay unbeaten before they lost after winning their first 21 games. So it'll be interesting to watch that game on Wednesday. Should be a close one in the Carrier Dome, and that might really show us what this Syracuse team is made of.
As for Boston College, we just saw the Syracuse schedule moving forward. Boston College also has some tough games coming up to end the season. They'll play Syracuse in March to end the campaign. But right before that, they have to travel to Louisville, who just trounced the Orange. And of course, Notre Dame coming up on Wednesday. So not an easy schedule moving forward for Boston College either, Tim.
No, not at all. But I'll tell you, I've been very impressed with this BC team and the way the program is trending. They've got a new athletic director, one of the youngest athletic directors of any Power 5 school ever. And really all around athletically for BC. The men's basketball team might be lacking behind a little bit, but you've got strong football, and women's lacrosse is the top-ranked team in the country for Boston College. That athletic director off to a good start. Made a great hire here with the new head coach for BC, and they're making a lot of strides. They went 7-23 last year. It might not look great at this point, 14-9, likely going to fall to 14-10 and 3-8 in ACC play, but overall, you can tell this is a young team that's got a bright future and is trending in the right direction.
Coach Mack on the BC sidelines, 45-20 in 2 seasons as the head coach at Albany, led the team to the NCAA tournament in 2016-17. A great block from Enxler, but too much body contact, and a foul is called.
We've seen a lot of great blocks so far today for Syracuse, and this is the first one where maybe a little bit too much arm. You can see why the ref blew the whistle there on Enxler. Still aggressive D, and no easy buckets down low for BC.
Taylor Soule makes the first. Solid day for her, did a little bit of everything. 7 points, 5 rebounds, also some good defense at times.
Question now is, will Syracuse eclipse 98 points and get that season high? 90 seconds left in this one, and shooting it at 61% today, from beyond the arc 48%, 2 of their highest marks for each of those statistics this season.
Some of the reserves in for Syracuse. Shalane Bailey playing the point guard. Isis Young has it now, trying to go one-on-one with Guy. A good up and under move off the glass. She's known for her three-point shooting, but a good drive from Isis Young.
Really skillful finish that time. Her and Miranda Drummond proving they are more than just three-point shooters.
Soule all the way to the basket off the glass for 2. Syracuse a couple more opportunities to score. Young from the corner. 11-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Syracuse hasn't scored 100 since 1999 against West Virginia, and they come a little bit short today. That was conference games. They haven't scored 100 since 1999. And with 30.5 seconds left, they might not reach that mark, but still an impressive performance today from Syracuse, and also from Emma Guy, who's standing at the free throw line for maybe the last time today. A huge performance from her. 1 point shy of 30.
Really an amazing performance from Guy. But I don't think Syracuse could have played much better on offense today. This might not be their best offensive game of the season, because yes, they played very well against tough competition, even on the road when they've won some of those ranked games and everything has come together. This really felt like it was just what the doctor ordered, though.
And that's a nice moment for Emma Guy. 30 points for her. Her family giving her a nice round of applause. Even some of the Carrier Dome faithful recognizing the greatness they saw today from Emma Guy, and gave her a nice welcome, or I should say departure, off the court. 20 seconds left in this one. A tough stretch coming up for both teams, but Syracuse will get the win today. They'll move to 18-5. Boston College will drop to 14-10. And Shalane Bailey can run out the clock. Lowry applies a little late pressure, but that's all she wrote. Syracuse starts the 5-game homestand in an impressive fashion. 96-69. The Orange trounce the Eagles inside the Carrier Dome. Tim, this was a dominant performance from start to finish. BC had a lead early in that first quarter, but that was about all they had.
Yeah, they led for just 35 seconds in this one. SU leads for 95.3% of this game. They got up all the way by 34 at one point, and a great game. Great first half from Miranda Drummond, gave them some momentum, and it carried into the second half despite a really good game from Emma Guy. She played her heart out. Syracuse gets a much-needed win to bounce back.
Just a reminder, our next Syracuse women's basketball telecast on the ACC Network Extra will be this Wednesday as the NC State Wolfpack travel to the Dome to face the Orange. Game time is 7 p.m. For Tim Leonard, I'm Anthony Mazzini, and Casey Boucher on sidelines saying so long from the Carrier Dome. One more time, final score 96-69. The Orange all over the Eagles today.
No, it's fine. I just dropped my pen like it was hot.